So I will say that there's a possibility that the Switch 2 will have the capabilities to push at least, and I'm not trying to be optimistic here, at least 1080 30. At
Okay.
least.
So I repeat the question: is
Go.
1080p 30 enough for you?
Yeah. If it's going to be a portable handheld for 1080 30, fine. I'm guessing if once it's docked, it's going to hit 1080 60.
Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Yo, yo, yo. What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Miami Geeks Weekly Updates brought to you by DigitalCrackNetwork.com. I'm your host, Punisher305. With me, as always, old school gaming specialist, Uncle Willie.
See, that's the proper level of energy you need to have. It's a Monday. You can't be that excited.
I need to have all the power and excitement for everything. Just that today, I'm just no. It's just not gonna happen today.
No, my headline says it. Just I'm done with this month already.
Wake me up when September ends. Yeah.
Not that next month is gonna be better, but at least it won't be. At least it won't be September.
Right? I mean, dude, like this month was just horrible, dude. Horrible. Excuse me.
Yeah, you see?
Folks, I'm sorry.
You see? Told you.
It's the bags under the eyes and everything tells you guys. It's been a rough month.
The bags under my eyes have bags.
Yeah. And they have like little tickets for the airport.
One of them says Samsonite.
No. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. Oh, man, shut up. What's the other one? What's the other eye? I need to know what's the other bag.
I'm not going to talk about those. I'm not going to talk about those bags. This is a family-friendly podcast.
Oh God, Jesus! You know what? Yes, let's just start before it gets bad. Yeah, it's gonna get bad.
Too late.
I'm just saying. But Willie, we got a lot to talk about today, man. And I think this is gonna be more up your alley. And it's about the new Unity install fee caused protests from gaming developers. Now, I remember we talked about this many moons ago to a point where it just kind of like burned out back there for me. So I don't remember too much about it. But can you do me a favor and do us a favor, Willie, and enlighten us with everything that's going on with this?
All right. The short version.
Yes.
Unity, that's a game development engine, wants more money, and they're going to get it out of the developers and the publishers.
Oh, okay.
Which means that eventually, if this goes through, games are going to cost more. You're welcome. This is the gist of it. Unity announced a new fee for developers and publishers. The way it works is, if you've met certain targets, you get charged a fee per game install. I'll break it down. There's different levels. These are for people who have actually purchased a license to use Unity. They have 4 tiers. Personal is the lowest tier, followed by Plus, Pro, and then Enterprise. This is how the fee schedule is going to work. First, you have to meet certain targets. For Personal and Plus, you have to have a revenue threshold of $200,000 USD within 12 months and have an initial install threshold of 200,000 lifetime. For Pro and Enterprise, you have to have made $1 million USD in revenue in 12 months and 1 million installs lifetime. What happens is you meet those thresholds, the fee kicks in. For every install after you meet the threshold for Unity Personal and Plus, you pay 20 cents per install.
20 cents per
For
install.
Pro members, you pay 15 cents up to 100,000, and then it goes down from there. Same thing for Enterprise. It starts at 0.125 cents per install up to 100,000 and drops from there. The ones that are having the biggest problem are indie developers. Indie developers, there's a whole bunch of different engines they can use, but overwhelmingly, a lot of them use Unity. Imagine you being a small-time developer. All right, maybe you're a one-person outfit. Maybe you and a couple of friends. You make a
Okay.
game that gets popular. Because your game is so popular, you made $200,000 and you've had 200,000 installs. Now they're going to charge you 20 cents every time someone installs your game. Under the original structure, because Unity made some clarifications and changes after that. Under the original price structure, if I buy your game and I install it on my PC and my laptop, that's 2 installs.
So that's 40 cents right there.
Right. If
Wow.
I download a demo of your game, that's 20 cents. If I buy your game as part of a humble bundle, where you're not even getting full price for the game, that's 20 cents.
My God. It's bad, dude.
Some
This is
developers
not
have
good.
done the
What the
math.
hell?
Some small developers have done the math, and they're saying if that means that if my game is successful, I'm being punished for having a successful game. And oh yeah, by the way, you have to purchase a license to use Unity to begin with. So you're paying money. I cannot tell you how much it is to get a license. I'm not a developer. But you're paying a licensing fee. And on top of that, they're going to take from your sales. And if your game is really successful, it's going to hurt you.
Dude, that
Then
sucks.
start the clarifications.
It's more
Then
like a
start the
win-win for them.
Oh yeah, by the way, free-to-play games also fall into that.
Really?
So if you make $200,000 in revenue from free-to-play microtransactions,
Yeah.
they're going to start taking from that because free-to-play, you're not charging for the game. So they're going to take money off the money you make off battle passes and stuff like that.
That's crazy,
But
dude.
you know how I feel about those things. But
I know it sucks.
so okay, without going further into clarifications, how do you feel about that?
Oh, I dislike it a lot, dude. I think it's horrible. It's more of a win-win for Unity than what it is for any game developer out there. Because if you're going to make a highly successful game, and let's say how we're just talking right now, like 2 to 4 people download for either their cell phone or for a computer or for any type of machine they're going to be downloading. I mean, the one that's going to get punished here is going to be the ones that create the game. They're going to be they literally have to hike up the prices to at least meet their quota. So it could be like, okay, fine. You can download all the games you want, but I still have to have something to keep, to give money to my team and stuff like that. So I'm going to have to hike up this game to like $25 for it could be a couple changes here and there. Because think about it. I mean, I'm actually trying to think about it right now. Instead of 2 downloads, imagine 200,000 downloads. Like it's going to end up rounding off to a pretty big penny. This almost sounds like it. Correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm going to talk about a movie, it sounds like Office Space. Taking penny from the penny jar. They just say, "Oh, don't worry, it's just a couple pennies. It's not going to hurt nobody." But they came out with all that money. That's what it sounds like to me, like right now. Because they're like, "Yeah, sure, we're just going to charge you by the cents. 40 cents here, 20 cents there." At the end, it's going to count something because it's just not one developer. It's all these developers using Unity. Yes. And they're just going to be making hand over fist of all this money, and they're going to be like, "Yeah, but it's only cents of whatever I'm using per person, so it shouldn't hurt you guys." Yeah, okay, sure, whatever.
And again, the focus here is on the indies. Activision Blizzard, they use a Unity for Hearthstone. They're not going to feel it. As a matter of fact, not only are they not going to feel it, the fees they have to pay are less. The revenue trigger is higher, $1 million, and the amount that they have to pay, for them, that's a drop in the bucket. But here's another thing: what if somebody gets pissed off at an indie developer? Oh no, because I don't like your stance on XYZ political topic. They can go buy the game and download it 25 times just to hurt them.
Yeah, because it's not going to hurt it's not going to hurt the consumers, not the consumer. It's not going to hurt
it's not going to hurt. It'll hurt the consumer in the long run because there'll be less indie developers if they're using Unity. It's going to hurt them because eventually prices are going to go up in order to account for all these increases in money that they're losing.
Yeah.
A lot of developers have decided, you know what? Fine, do that. I'm switching to another engine.
That's horrible, dude. Like
So
that's bad.
here's where the clarifications come in.
All right,
Afterwards, Unity said, you know what? We hear you. We'll make sure that it's only one install per person. How are you going to determine that? Demos will not be charged. If your game is included in a humble bundle or some kind of bundle like that, just let us know ahead of time so that we know not to charge you for that. How are you going to know?
Yeah, I was going to say, wait a minute. How are you going to identify and know what's going to be a humble bundle or not?
Humble bundle.
And especially, yeah, no, I'm just saying. But like, imagine trying to
how are you going
to sit on pins and needles, worried about, oh God, they're going to probably double charge me if I put this out. I got to make sure that they know this is going to be a pass or a double humble bubble. What call it?
How is Unity going to be able to determine that one person installed the game twice? How are they going to determine, oh, that's a humble bundle key versus a regular key?
Yeah,
here's another clarification they made because this was brought up too.
What?
A lot of these indie games, like Tunic and Stray and Sifu, have been appearing on PlayStation Plus and Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah.
Will that count as an install? And they said no. In that case, we won't charge the developer. We'll charge Microsoft or Sony. Oh, wow! Perfect solution. I mean, Sony and Microsoft are raising prices for their online services. Why not give them reason to just raise them more?
Yeah, this is going to
all the sense of the world, right?
Either one or two things are going to happen to this, but I feel that it's all going to point to a negative, and it's just going to end poorly, if you ask me.
It is. Well, now they came out recently and they said, you know what? We're talking, we've heard everybody's concerns and we're going to go ahead and do some tweaking and we're going to update you on any changes we make. This is going to hurt them long term because again, developers are going to say, okay, fine. We just won't use Unity anymore.
And they can do it too. That's
and
not
the ones
a
that the ones that are stuck using them. Let's face it, switching gaming engines is not as simple as just okay. I'll go to this one.
It's not.
You got to learn it, and it's you got the differences between one engine and another. You got to figure all those out. You got to port your stuff if you already have stuff in development. By the way, the guy who's running Unity, the guy who's making all these changes, it's a familiar name. You may not know it. But after I tell you who he is, you'll see why this is happening. The guy who's running the show in Unity is John Riccatello. He's working for Unity now, but he used to work in the AAA game industry. Would you like to know where?
Please.
EA.
Makes sense.
Now it makes sense.
Makes
sense. Go to hell, John Riccatello, and hopefully this will go away. And people will talk about more important things, like our next subject, which I know that you're dying to talk about.
Oh no, definitely. But before we get to that next subject, I just want to see what everybody thinks about what's going on here with Unity. Please comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. Let's have a conversation about this. And just like Willie said, let's talk about the next subject, folks, which is Activision Says Switch 2 power is similar to the PS4 and Xbox One. Now, okay. I have to say this, and I have to be honest about it. If we're going to get the Switch 2, and it's going to be the power levels of a freaking PS4 and an Xbox One, I think that's a win-win for everybody. Because the PS4 and the Xbox One, I still say to this day, that's actually two really good systems, at least. And if they're going to be doing it to the to the Switch as a portable, I want to see what this machine's going to look like first off, and what type of power it's going to have, what's going to be pushing, if they're going to be pushing 720 or 1080, not docked by hand. So let's go a little further into this, Willie. Let's talk a little more about it. So what's going on here?
So according to The Verge,
Mm-hmm.
some Activision Blizzard executives, including Chief Douchebag Bobby Kotick,
God, him still.
met with Nintendo December of last year. Their topic was of the Switch 2.
Okay.
And this coincides with a document that was released as part of the FTC versus Microsoft lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
Where the FTC was trying to block the sale of Activision Blizzard to Microsoft, where it showed that they're talking about the power of the successor to the Switch, and it's on par with the PS4 or the Xbox One.
Or the Xbox One.
Well, either one, because they had similar power. Just the PS4 had a memory advantage over the Xbox One, so the games felt a little faster, but they ran basically the same.
Which is true. The only thing I will have to say that the Xbox had over the PlayStation was that it didn't bottleneck the internet when you're downloading.
Well, yeah, because the PS4 has horrible internet connectivity.
Yeah,
horrible.
Which I give Xbox that much. I'm not an Xbox or a PlayStation fanboy, but I do have to give props where props is due. And Xbox did that, and I thought that was actually awesome of them to do. Because PlayStation, man, they bottleneck too much, man. That thing sucks.
I did the tests. I remember that Agent Joe was, reluctant. Not reluctant. He was adamant that it's not. The problem is your internet. No. I did download tests with my PC, with my Xbox One, and with my PS4, all connected via Ethernet.
Mm-hmm.
And the PS4 was a dog when it came to internet connectivity. It's improved, still a dog.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. We're getting off topic. The question I have for you is,
go.
Think about it. Think about this before I ask you the question. Okay. PS4, Xbox One levels of performance. These are consoles that a year after they came out, people were saying they were underpowered because you couldn't get 1080p 60 consistently. You were lucky to get 1080p 30. Is that still enough of a win for you?
I will say yes, because right now they're just saying they're comparing the power to the Xbox and the PlayStation 4. But again, the technology back then, what we're pushing with these two juggernauts right now, were they really had that type of capability to push 1080p 60. Right now we have the freaking PS5 doing that, kind of. I think, I'm not sure. I lost track, but yeah, no, it actually does. It does. I'm sorry. So I will say that there is a possibility that the Switch 2 will have the capabilities to push at least, and I'm not trying to be optimistic here, at least 1080 30. At least.
Okay. So I repeat the question: is 1080p 30 enough for you?
Yeah, if it's going to be a portable handheld for 1080 30, fine. I'm guessing if once it's docked, it's going to hit 1080 60, or maybe, who knows?
That was my next question. What if 1080 30 is docked?
It's fine. I'll live with it.
Which means it's going to be 720 60 maybe
on hand.
A handheld.
That's fine. Look, Willie, we could bicker about this all day, and it's mostly me bickering.
It doesn't affect me in the sense that, listen, I'm not one for hyper-realistic graphics all the time. Remember that a lot of Nintendo games are very cartoony, very bright, colorful.
Which that's what I was going to get to. Most of Nintendo games are like that. They're cartoony, very colorful and whimsical and stuff like that, which is nice. It's perfectly fine. But I could bet you money 720p on a handheld for a game like that, it will still look fine. And yeah, well, like I was saying, most of the times you and I, we mess around a lot, but facts are facts. 720 is HD. But I'm going to be honest. If we're putting 720 on handheld, but we're going to dock it and we're going to get 1080, I will expect to see at least 1080 30 or at least 1080 60. At least. I don't want to be that overachiever. I want 4K because it's not needed.
So
I'm more than sure 1080. No, because I'm going to be still saying, hey, look, Mario looks pretty freaking awesome in 720. I'm not gonna freaking bat an eye about it.
I play still on the Wii U. All right.
Yeah, and it's still fun.
And I have the thing is where the power is gonna matter is with third-party titles.
Okay. Yeah.
Because EA is gonna want to put EAFC in there.
Battlefield
but
as well.
They're not going to be happy using essentially PlayStation 3 graphics.
No, but then you can also have the Call of Duties and stuff like that, which require to have at least a higher a GPU to play those games. So
not necessarily. You can play Warzone on a friggin'
no, but if you're you could play like that. But if you want to be a diehard, like the ones I've seen out there, they really need a PC to play it to have the higher resolution, or they just want to play just to have fun like that. I would say a good graphic card on a Switch 2 so they can play it like that. It'll be fine. I'm just my curiosity is gonna be one and two things. One, battery life, because if you're gonna be pushing something with that type of power, eventually it's gonna heat up. It's going to heat up and eat up that battery. Two, Wi-Fi. If it's going to be Wi-Fi, how strong is that Wi-Fi going to be? Because if you're going to be kind of like using a Mi-Fi pack or something to stream off of it, you have to have something a little beefy at least.
Truthfully, I would think that for you to be able to push the fidelity that they're going for, you need to have Wi-Fi 6.
Yeah. And I will say, if they're going to have a docking station, include the freaking Ethernet port, please.
I don't understand that. By the way, Switch owners, you could buy the USB adapter for Ethernet.
USB-C adapter
that goes on the Wii. That goes on the Wii. It works on the Wii, the Wii U, and the Switch. I have all three connected.
Yeah.
Look, I'll show you what it looks like. I have it right here next to me. Please don't.
It's a USB Type-C Ethernet port. I seen it. We have it at work.
No, it's not a Type-C. It's a Type-A.
Oh, really?
This baby right here. Look. This baby right here.
Oh, okay.
Is for the Wii. You see, I have the connection. This is a Wii adapter. It works on the Wii U and the Switch. You don't have to buy the new dock that has the Ethernet port.
All right. So now since we got that part covered, now another thing we have to really be concerned about: size. How big is this Switch 2 going to be, and how big is the internal memory on that thing going to be as well? Because right now, the PS5 and all this, they're already pushing 1 terabyte, 2 terabytes, whatever terabyte they're pushing. So how big you think the Switch 2 is going to be? What they're going to come out?
Do you
think it's going to be 500 maybe, or a little higher?
I'm going to say at least you have the ability to expand with SD cards, which is very useful to have because you can even swap out the SD cards, which is cumbersome, but it could be done. The advantage that the Switch would have, even a Switch 2, if it had a higher processing power, it's not going to have the space problems that the PS5 and the Xbox Series consoles do right now because they don't have 4K textures.
No.
So they don't have. So maybe Call of Duty will be a very svelte 60 gigabytes. Maybe.
You know what? I would like to see how this is going to come out, but my curiosity is it's going to be technically you guys. What do you guys think about everything we just talked about right now about the Switch 2, the power, the GPU, everything that's included in this? Do you guys think it's going to be 1080 60, 1080 30 on hand, or is it going to be docked? Please comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. Let's have a conversation about this. And folks, just like we're done. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification button just so we come up with some amazing news, which is 3 times a week. Mondays, Wednesday, and Friday, and a little something in between. Now, Willie, any last words?
One thing that we didn't bring up here, and I know we have a follower that's really interested about this. If you haven't heard, Roblox coming to PlayStation October 10th.
Oh, we got to talk about that, right?
Eventually, I mean, when it comes out. But I wanted him to know, because I know that and I'm not sure if it's who they are, but I wanted them to know because they had been asking us a couple times. October 10th. October 10th.
There we go, guys. I'm actually excited because if that comes out, you know how many people are going to be on the freaking PlayStation playing Roblox? Good news. Folks, once again, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.